Good morning, children, and welcome back to your chemistry class. Today we shall begin with a new chapter, that is electrochemistry. Electrochemistry is that branch of chemistry that deals with the relation between the chemical reactions and electricity. So we can say that it deals with the study of electrical properties of solutions that are used in the electrolysis and also the chemical changes that are brought about by the electrical energy. Clear? This study of electrochemistry, it is important due to its application in the industries, in the instruments and in various devices. So let us begin with the electrochemical cell or galvanic cell. So this device in which the electrical energy is produced from the chemical reactions, right? They are termed as electrochemical cells or galvanic cells. What did I say? The devices in which electrical energy is produced from the chemical reactions are called electrochemical cell or galvanic cell. Clear? So if you look at the figure, you will see that a galvanic cell, it consists of two such electrodes which are immersed in the solutions of their respective salts, right? The two electrodes, they are connected externally by a metallic wire through a voltmeter or an ammeter, right? There is a switch and internally they are attached by a salt bridge. Now what is a salt bridge? I'll explain you just now. First understand the figure that is given over here. When the circuit is completed by closing the switch, a redox reaction takes place over here. That is the electrode at which the reduction takes place. Reduction means gain of electron taking place. That will be known as cathode. And the electrode at which oxidation is taking place. Oxidation meaning loss of electron taking place. That will be known as anode. Right? So example over here is your Daniell cell or the galvanic cell. If the electrodes are externally connected, then at zinc electrode oxidation will occur and will act also as an anode, right? So the oxidation of the half cell reaction, how do we see over here in this? The zinc, which is in its solid state, it is going to give out ions, zinc ions, by losing two electrons, right? Now the electrons that are liberated, they move along the external connection to the other electrode. This results the generation of the current. Now at the copper electrode, reduction will occur and here this copper is going to act as a cathode, right? So the reduction of this was the oxidation, okay? So this was the oxidation and now reduction will take place. So the reduction half cell reaction, how are we going to write? Cu2 plus, it is going to accept those two electrons and it is going to give us copper which is in its neutral state, right? So the net reaction taking place in each of the half cell, what is this called as? Half cell reactions. What are they termed as? Half cell reaction. Now coming to that word salt bridge that I had said. Okay, what does this word salt bridge mean? Salt bridge, it is usually used to connect the electrodes of a galvanic cell. Okay, it consists of a gel drawn into a clean U tube. If you can see the U tube over there, right? It consists of a gel, right? And this gel, it is formed by adding agar-agar into the boiling water containing an inert electrolyte like KCl as the ionic conductance of potassium ion and the chloride ion are almost the same, right? Now when the circuit is completed, by inserting the key in the circuit, the electric current flows through the external circuit as it is indicated by the ammeter there. Now zinc, which is acting as an anode, gradually starts losing its weight, right? And the concentration of the zinc ion in the zinc sulfate aqueous solution, it starts increasing. Now what is happening with copper? Copper is getting deposited where? On the cathode, and copper ion concentration in the solution is otherwise getting decreased. So there is a flow of electron, right, in the external circuit from where? From anode to cathode, that is from the zinc rod to copper rod, from zinc rod to copper rod. Is this clear? That is, it is moving from anode to cathode. I hope this point is very clear. Now let us understand some functions of this salt bridge. Now what is the function of this salt bridge? It completes the external circuit, right? It also maintains the electrical neutrality of the two half solutions. So how do we show the complete formulation of the cell? So the complete formulation of the cell, which is also called as cell notation, right? It can be represented like this. You will generally see it. Zn, which is in the solid state, has converted to zinc ion, right? Where the concentration of the zinc solution was 1 m. And this is the other cell coming to copper ion. This is the concentration changes to copper solid. Okay, so this is called as the cell notation. This is how it is written. So this cell representation can also be understood like this. The whole thing I can show it to you. Like suppose I take anode this side and this side is your cathode. So what is your anode? This is your anode. So zinc, which is in the solid state, zinc ion with the concentration of the solution. Okay. So over here the anode electrolyte is converted into what? Anode electrode. It is moving towards anode electrode, which is your negative pole, isn't it? So here we have the bridge. This is your salt bridge. Then we move to cathode. What do we see over here at cathode? We have copper ion with its concentration, copper which is in its solid state. So over here this is your cathode electrolyte, moving towards cathode electrode, and this is your positive pole, right? So this shows your anode half cell and this shows your cathode half cell. I hope this is very clear. Now let us understand the electrode potential. What do we mean by electrode potential, right? So the electrical potential difference that is set up between the metal and its ions in the solution, that is called as electrode potential, or you can say the tendency of an electrode to lose or gain the electrons when it is in contact with the solution of its own, right, own ions, then it is called as electrode potential. I repeat, what is electrode potential? It is the electrical potential difference that is set up between the metal and its ion in the solution, right? Or in the other words, we can also say that the tendency of an electron to lose or gain the electrons when it is kept in the contact with the solution of its own ions, then that is called as electrode potential. This electrode potential is of two types. What are they? One is your oxidation potential and one is your reduction potential, right? So now let us understand what is oxidation potential and reduction potential. So when is it said to be oxidation potential and when is it said to be reduction potential? Let us understand first what is oxidation potential. So the electrode potential will be called as an oxidation potential when if the oxidation is taking place at the electrode, right, with respect to standard hydrogen electrode or any other reference of the electrode. The oxidation potential, it gives the tendency of an electrode to lose electrons. Over here what happens? It loses electrons. So we can write it down. Suppose this is the solid substance. So it is going to lose electron and it is going to form the ion, right? Let me write down N plus. So it could be any number of ions plus electrons. Number of electrons will be given out. Clear? Now, reduction potential. The electrode potential will be termed as reduction potential when if the reduction takes place at the electrode with respect to standard hydrogen electrode. Okay. So the reduction potential, it gives the tendency of an electrode to gain electrons. So over here, your N plus, it is going to accept the number of electrons and it will change to neutral atom, right? So the electrode potential, it actually depends upon number one, the nature of the metal and its ions, right? And secondly, it also depends upon the concentration of the ions in the solution. And third point, it also depends upon the temperature. So your electrode potential depends upon three things. What are they? The nature of the metal and its ions, the concentration of the ion in the solution, as well as the temperature. I hope till here everything is clear. Now, I was using one name over here, standard electrode potential. Now, what do we mean by standard electrode potential? The standard electrode potential is given like this, E naught, right? So if in the half cell the metal rod is suspended in its 1 molar solution and the temperature is kept as 298 Kelvin, then the electrode potential is termed as your standard electrode potential. What did I say? If in the half cell the metal rod is suspended in its 1 molar solution where the temperature maintained is 298 Kelvin, then the electrode potential is said to be standard electrode potential and it is expressed as E naught. If the gas is involved, then the standard condition chosen will be how much? 1 atmosphere pressure with 298 Kelvin, right? For a particular electrode, the standard oxidation potential is the reverse of the standard reduction potential, right? For example, like if we talk about standard oxidation potential of zinc, right? So the standard oxidation potential for zinc, if suppose is minus 0.76 volts, right? Then if this is your standard oxidation potential, right, then the standard reduction potential will be what? It will be just the opposite. It will be 0.76 volts will be your standard reduction potential. I hope till here everything is very clear to you. Now let us talk about cell potential of a cell, also called as EMF. So the difference between the electrode potentials of the two electrodes constituting of an electrochemical cell, it is known as the EMF or the cell potential of a cell, right? So the difference between the electrode potentials of the two electrodes constituting an electrochemical cell. You can see my pen ink has finished, so I'll quickly wind up. It is known as EMF, right? Or we can say it is called as cell potential of a cell, right? This acts as a driving force for the cell equation. And how can we write it down? It can be in short written as EMF is written as reduction potential of cathode minus reduction potential of anode, right? Which can also be written as E cell. E is standing for your EMF, okay? This is cathode minus E reduction potential of anode. So your EMF is equal to the reduction potential of cathode minus the reduction potential of anode. This can also be written as E right minus E left. Cathode is to your right, anode is to your left, so right and left is also written. So the EMF of the cell, it is measured with the help of potentiometer, and its magnitude, it completely depends upon the nature of the electrodes, the temperature, and also the concentration of the solution in the two half cells. Clear? I next come to standard hydrogen electrode. So these are few words that I have used, so I would like to finish it off in this video only. This is we are going to study now standard hydrogen electrode, which I can also write as SHE, she. Okay. So the absolute value of the electrode potential of a single electrode, it is determined with the help of what? Reference electrode, or what we call it as standard hydrogen electrode. Okay, whose standard electrode potential is arbitrary. Okay, it may be taken as 0. It consists of if you look at the figure, it consists of a platinum wire, and it is sealed in a glass tube and has a platinum foil attached to it. It is coated with finely divided platinum, and the platinum electrode, it is dipped in 1 molarity of HCl. Pure hydrogen gas at 1 bar, it is bubbled at the constant temperature of 298 Kelvin. Okay, so if you say if She, that is standard hydrogen electrode, acts as anode, right? So how is it going to show the reaction? Hydrogen, it is going to give 2 hydrogen ions by losing 2 electrons, okay? And if the standard hydrogen electrode acts as cathode, then the hydrogen ion is going to accept 2 electrons and it is going to give the hydrogen gas. Clear? So your standard hydrogen electrode, it finds difficulties in its preparation and use, and therefore other reference electrodes can also be used with different concentrations. Is this point clear? Now we come to the measurement of the standard electrode potentials. Let us understand the measurement of the standard electrode potential. Okay, standard electrode potential, that is E naught. So first one, let us do the measurement of the standard electrode potential of zinc electrode. So an electrode consisting of, if you look at the figure, zinc rod immersed in 1 molarity of solution of zinc sulfate. It is combined with the standard hydrogen electrode, and the EMF of the cell comes out to be how much? 0.76 volts, right? So how do we write down the cell? How do we represent it? It is represented like this: Zn2 plus, what is the solution concentration? 1 molarity, and the standard hydrogen electrode also has to be mentioned over here. The solution also has to be mentioned. This is at 1 bar. The electrode can be represented as platinum, so we write it down as Pt, right? So the standard electrode potential, the cell is equal to, we can write it down as ER minus EL, right minus left. This can also be written as, what is the right one? H ion to hydrogen gas minus the left one. Electrode potential of the left one is zinc 2 plus to zinc metal. Okay, so 0. This is the standard electrode potential is how much? 0.76 is equal to 0 minus Zn2 plus Zn. So we can also write it down how? The standard electrode potential of zinc ion and zinc is equal to minus 0.76 volts. Okay, this is what I had written before. Clear? This was about the measurement of the zinc electrolyte and the zinc electrode. So over here, to measure the standard electrode potential of copper ion copper electrode, a cell is constructed. If you can check the figure, by immersing the copper electrode in 1 molarity copper sulfate solution and then connecting it to the standard hydrogen electrode, right? So over here, how can we represent the cell? It could be represented with platinum, as we had done it earlier, and hydrogen gas with 1 bar, right? And the hydrogen ion, the concentration of it is 1 m. Copper ion its solution changing to copper metal, right? So the EMF of the cell has been measured. How much? EMF has been measured as 0.34 volts. So how do we write it down? Then the standard electrode potential of the cell is equal to standard electrode potential, right side of the electrode potential minus the left of the standard electrical potential. And this is equal to E Cu2 plus Cu minus H plus and the gas. So 0. How much? 34 is equal to E Cu2 plus Cu minus 0. So what do we get? The electrode potential, standard electrode potential of copper ion and copper electrode. What do we get as? Copper ion, copper electrode we get as 0.34. Okay, I hope till here it's clear. Now we talk about electrochemical series. So what is your electrochemical series? The arrangement of various electrodes in order of the increasing values of the standard reduction potential. It is called as your electrical series. I repeat, what? The arrangement of various electrodes in the order of the increasing values of the standard reduction potential. It is called as electrochemical series. Now what are the applications of this electrochemical series is what we need to understand. First point, the applications. I'll write it down over here. Applications of EC series, right? So first point is it gives us the relative strength of oxidizing and reducing agents. Gives relative strengths of oxidizing agents and reducing agents, right? So the elements with greater standard electrode potential or which shows reduction is stronger oxidizing agent, whereas the element with smaller value of standard electrode potential, it is a stronger reducing agent. Okay. Then second point, it also helps in the calculation of the EMF of the cell. How? We have already done just now the electrode potentials of both the electrodes over here, right? They are taken to be reduction potentials, and if the EMF of the cell is positive, then the reduction is feasible in the given direction, right? Then the third point, it also helps to predict the feasibility of the reaction, right? Feasibility of the reaction, that is the difference of the higher reduction potential electrode and the lower reduction potential. It gives the positive EMF value and it also predicts the feasibility of the cell reaction. And fourth point could be to predict whether a metal can displace other metals or not. We already know about this. To predict whether a metal can displace another metal. Okay, so the metal placed at higher potential position, you know already in the EC series, they will displace the metals of the lower reduction potential from the salt solution. Now here I am going to give you the list of your reduction half reactions and the standard reduction potential In volts it is given to you. You can study that, and next time we shall continue to understand the dependence of these electrodes and the cell potentials on the concentration. Okay. That's all for today. Thank you.